All right, let's talk more about the Browns, and we bring in Reggie Rucker. Reg, I mean, it has been a crazy week. Just first of all, your impression of Jimmy Haslam as he's been here for a weekend now, and he's taken over, you know, essentially what's going to be rubber stamped by the owners.
Well, it's really exciting to me. I mean, I am really thrilled at everything that I've heard about Jimmy Haslam and his family. The reports I'm getting from around the country, and even someone like Sam Ratigliano, who went to school with Jimmy Haslam Sr. So this is what appears to be a really great day for Cleveland Browns fans. You're going to have a guy who's very passionate, a guy who has some experience, and a guy who wants to bring winning to Cleveland, Ohio.
And that's what you're hearing from the folks that you know that are, I mean, especially the folks at Tennessee and volunteer football know what a great donor he is for that school. Now, I would think it'd be a major upgrade to go from heavy donor to owner, where you're calling all the shots.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes, Andy, there are times when you get owners who are straight businessmen, owners who love the sport. Very rarely do you come across an owner who is both. A very, very fine businessman, a lot of success nationally, employing 20,000 people and being responsible for those. That kind of person understands what it means when someone is relying upon you to get a job done. And this man is very passionate about the game, and I think it didn't take him very long to really get it as far as Cleveland Browns fans are concerned, because when you've been a minority owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers and you understand the culture of Brown Steelers, and he has watched the Rooneys be very successful against the Cleveland Browns, well, then I want to bring someone. I've been saying this for a long time. You can't beat them, join them, man. Bring somebody out of that family and that culture and that business model that knows how to get this done, and I think Jimmy Haslam is the right guy.
All right, does that make that a rivalry again? Does that make us say Browns Steelers are now a rivalry because now you've got who was a minority owner there?
Well, yeah, I think you would have to think that that's true, because certainly we weren't being competitive enough on the field to make that an accurate statement out of whether this is in fact still a rivalry. But now you have a man who has been there, who has watched this, and who has professed his love for the Steelers and for how they get things done. And now he's saying, okay, that's behind me. Cleveland Browns fans, here I come. I'm coming. I'm the white knight riding on. I'm the shining knight riding on a white horse. How's that?
All right, that sounds good. All right, let's walk through this a little bit too, because you know Joe Banner's supposed to come in. That's what we've heard from everybody. In fact, we heard that from Howard Eskin, who's in Philadelphia, who's the guy that broke this story. It would seem that Banner and Eskin are on the same page, and that's where Eskin's getting all his information from as you listen to the story. But I still look back at the weekend, and what I saw with my own eyes, with Mike Holmgren walking around with Jimmy Haslam, Mike talking to him and walking through everything. Now, you know, Coach Sam sat out here and said, you know, he's going to be compensated well no matter what happens, so you might as well glad hand him. But you got to think, if you're Mike Holmgren, you want some security for the guys that you brought into play. So what's going to happen? And is Joe Banner, is this a slam dunk?
Well, that's a very big question, and there are a lot of complicated answers for that. And I would say that you have to understand and have been around the culture of the National Football League for a long, long time. And that, for me, that's over 35 years. And the things that I've seen in similar situations is that these men are very cordial towards each other. They're very professional. They understand that this is the National Football League, and the prestige and the integrity of the league is at stake. They're going to act professional. And because Jimmy Haslam, who I would assume is a gentleman from everything that I've heard, he is going to treat Mike Holmgren with the utmost respect. And Mike Holmgren is entitled to that, but it doesn't mean that he's going to keep him. Because when you have been doing this work, and these people have been doing this work for at least 6 months, we know that now, and you've been putting pieces in place. All right, the money part of it is done. I would venture to say that many of the senior management pieces are done, if not almost done. And when I say senior management, I'm talking about the president, the general manager, and the director of football operations. Those are the next 3 people that have to be identified, because the billionaire has done his part, okay? He's come in and he said, I'm not taking the team out of Cleveland. That can't happen. I'm going to provide you with passion. I'm a football fanatic myself. I understand what you've been going through, and I'm going to win. Now, what we're saying to him, now go get the best people that can do that. And I think that you do that somewhere along the line as you have this vision. You don't wait until you get the thing and then start going out trying to hire these people. You have some idea of the people who are going to come in and run this thing from the football side for you.
All right, so I want you to look back into that camera, and I want you to tell Browns fans, are we looking at another rebuild or not?
Well, yes and no. Yes, because if Pat Shurmur doesn't get it right, then you're going to have another coach. And another coach does mean a rebuilding program. No, if Pat Shurmur gets it right. You see, if Pat Shurmur clicks off a 10-6 in 2012.
Do you have some wood around here that I can knock on? Because no. I've seen that schedule.
Yeah, I know. But that's why I'm saying yes and no. No, because if he did, let's say, you know, stranger things have happened. If he goes 10-6, you can't fire him. He's your man. But if he doesn't, which listen, I would love to be able to tell you that, you know, this team is going to go 8-8, 9-7. I don't see it. You know, I don't see it because there are too many young football players, good football players. The quality and the skill levels are much upgraded. They're better players, but they are young. And young football players in the National Football League need some time to get it right. So if this is the breakout year for Whedon and Richardson and Schwartz and some of the other, Wynn and some of the other younger players, then they're going to need their break-in period, which would be this year and the next, and then I would say you're looking at 2014 when this should be a competitive football team.
Great. That's not what I wanted to hear. Reggie, thank you. I appreciate it. I know it's just the rebuilds. We keep hearing about the rebuilds. All right, Reggie, we'll see you throughout the season as well, too, as we break it down with you, Coach Sam, and Andre.